Temperature. Temperature is a measure of how hot or how cold things are. To know this object or this thing is hot or cold, you have to measure its temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. This is the thermometer. And the measuring unit of temperature is Celsius degree. Celsius degree. For example, water boils at 100 Celsius degree and ice melts at 0 Celsius degree. The object that has higher temperature is hotter than the object that has lower temperature. And we know that the heat energy transfer from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. For example, you have 2 cups of water. For example, you have 2 cups of water like this. They have the same amount of water. I'm sorry. This one, its temperature, for example, 80 Celsius degree, and this one, 40 Celsius degree. So this one is hotter than this one is colder than this one. And the heat, if you put these cups together, the heat energy will move from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Heat transfer from higher temperature to the lower temperature. As we said before, water boils at 100 Celsius degree. If you have 2 cups of water, but first one has large amount of water, and second one, this one has large amount of water or large volume. And this one, small amount of water or small volume. And you put them on the fire, you heat them at the same time. Of course, the small one will take short time to boil because the small volume or the small amount of water reaches to 100 Celsius degree faster than the large one. This one will take long time to reach to 100 Celsius degree, or it will take longer time to boil. So small amount of water boils faster than large amount of water. States of matter. States of matter. States of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, and gas. Properties of solid, liquid, and gas. We studied before 3 states of matter and the properties of each state as below. Solid materials have definite shape and definite volume. It means their shape doesn't change and their volume doesn't change. For example, this brick, if you put it here or if you hold it between your hand, it will not pour or flow. It to not pour or flow. It means it has definite shape and definite volume. Definite, it means fixed shape and fixed volume. Also, it means its shape doesn't change by itself and its volume doesn't change. And also we know that any material is made of particles or something called molecule. Particles or molecule, a smallest part or smallest thing that made any material or made any thing around us. In the solid state, the particles are arranged closer to each other. They are very, very close to each other like this. Liquid material has an indefinite shape and definite volume. What's the meaning of indefinite shape? Indefinite shape, it means its shape it change by putting the liquids from one container to another container, but its volume doesn't change. Its volume doesn't change. And the particles are not very close together. Okay, the particles of liquid materials are far away or a little far away from each other, not like comparing with the solid materials. For example, you have a cylinder like this, and you put 100 milliliter of water in this cylinder, and you want to put them in another container has different shape. You want to move this water, or you want to put this water from this container to the second container. Of course, the shape of water will change. The shape of water in this case, like a cylinder, and you put it in this one, the wide one, it will take the new shape. But the volume is still the same, doesn't change, 100 milliliter. And if you want to put them in another container, like this one, of course, the shape of water will take the new shape, okay? So the shape of water or the shape of liquids, it change according to the container that you put on it. But if it's a solid, do you think the solid objects, its shape, it change by putting them from one container to another container? I think no. This is the meaning of indefinite shape, or not fixed shape, or the shape it change by putting from one container to another container. The third state of matter is the gaseous state. Gaseous state. In gaseous state have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. Gaseous state have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. It means the shape it change and also the volume it change. Okay, so to compare between the three states of matter, solid have indefinite shape and solid have definite shape and definite volume, but liquid have definite shape, definite volume, but indefinite shape. It means its shape the shape of liquids, it change from one container to another container, but its volume definite like the solid state. But gaseous state have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. It means their shape and their volume it change from one container to another container. The particles of gaseous or molecules of gaseous, by the way, molecule, it means particle. Particles of gaseous or the smallest part of gaseous are very far away from each other. They are very far away from each other. They are farther from each other than, or the distance between each molecule in gaseous state is very large or larger than the distance between the molecules of liquid state, and the molecules in the solid state are closer or very close to each other. How can you move or how can you change the state of matter from solid state to liquid state, or from liquid state to gaseous state, or the opposite, from gaseous state to liquid state, and from liquid state to solid state? A changing from solid state to liquid state called melting, and this happens by heating, by give heat energy. This happens by heating. To melt anything, melt, it means you are going to change its state from solid to liquid. You have to heat it, or you have to give it heat energy. To change the liquid state of any material to gaseous state, you have to give it more heat energy. So liquid, from liquid to gas by heating. It's called vaporization, and sometimes we call them evaporation, vaporization or evaporation, the same meaning. Also boiling. So we have three words to describe the change from liquid state to gaseous state. First, vaporization or boiling, or evaporation. Okay. What about the change of matter from gaseous state to liquid state? From gaseous state to liquid state, the opposite process of vaporization is condensation. Condensation by cooling. Condensation happens by cooling. If you decrease the temperature of water vapor, for example, it will condense or change from gaseous state, water vapor, into liquid state, water. Okay, so decreasing the temperature called cooling, increasing the temperature called heating. Okay, what about the change of matter from liquid state to solid state? Change from liquid to solid called freezing, and this is happened by give the object more cooling or cool the object more. From liquid state to solid state, by cooling, object will freeze. Let's look at this video that explain the changes between the three states of matter. Heating, it means increase in temperature, increase in temperature. Cooling, it means decrease in temperature. So, high temperature give the object higher temperature or heat the object. It means heating. Decrease the temperature, it means losing heat energy, gaining heat energy, gaining heat energy, and losing heat energy. By the way, solidification, it means freezing. The same meaning. Solidification, the change of matter from liquid state into solid state, or the same meaning of freezing. This happens by cooling, decreasing in temperature. Melting happens by heating or increasing in temperature. The object gain heat energy, then its temperature increase. So at a certain temperature, this object will melt. The object lose heat energy, so its temperature going to decrease, so it will change from liquid state to solid state, or it will freeze. Evaporation or boiling or vaporization, the same meaning. All of these words, boiling, evaporation, vaporization, describe the change of matter from liquid state to gaseous state. Vaporization happens by increasing temperature. Look what happened when the water vapor faces a cold surface like this. The water vapor condenses and it changes again into liquid state, which is water. Look carefully. The water vapor change into water again, which is the liquid state, and this is called condensation. Okay, of course, you noticed that in your home. Now we have a comparison between the arrangement of solid particles and liquid particles and gaseous particles. Particles of solid are closely packed with each other. They are close together like this. They are very close to each other like this. Okay, and the movement of the solid particles described as vibration or vibrated only or do not move. Vibrate only or vibration, it means the particles move in the same place, make a vibration in the same place. Okay, the particles vibrate or move in the same place. Liquid particles are slightly apart from each other. It means slightly apart from each other. It means there is a space or the little far away from each other like this. Okay, they are not very close like the solid state. The solid state, the particles is so close to each other, but in liquid state, the particles a little bit far from each other. What about the gaseous state? Before going to the gaseous state, the movement of liquid state particle, they move around each other. They have a space or they are little free to move around each other, not like the solid particle. They move but in the same place or they vibrate only. They have a limited movement in the solid state. There's a limited movement in the solid state, but in the liquid state, they have a kind of free movement, but around each other. What about the gaseous state? The gaseous state, the distances between the particles are so large or very far away, larger than or far, the particles are larger than, the distance between them is larger than the distance between liquid states, and the movements of the particles, they are freely movable in all direction. The particles of gaseous state moves in all direction. So because of these properties, solid state, because they are close, very close to each other, and they have a limited movement or their movement is a form of vibration, solid state has definite shape and definite volume. Liquid state, because the distances between the particles are slightly apart from each other and the movement of particles move around each other, but not like the gaseous state. So the liquid state has indefinite shape but definite volume. Okay, the last one, gaseous state, particles are very far away from each other and the movement of particles are freely movable in all directions. So the liquid state has indefinite shape and indefinite volume. Gases spread in everywhere. In this part, we will learn how the thermal energy plays a role in changing the state of matter from one state to another state. Once particles of solid, for example, gain heat energy, gain heat energy, it means increasing in temperature, increasing in temperature. When the solid state or the solid particles gain heat energy, they start to moving quickly, or the speed of the solid particles increase, and the distances increase, or they are go away from each other. When the particles lose heat energy, they start to move slowly, or it's the speed becomes slowly, and they get closer to each other. For example, the changes that happen between the water states. Water in solid state called ice, water in liquid state just water, and water in gaseous state called steam or water vapor. When a solid is heated, it changes into liquid state and then a gaseous state. When a gaseous is heated, when a gaseous is cooled, it changes back into a liquid and then into a solid again. Let's start from solid. When the solid or when the ice gain heat energy or increasing in temperature, the particles are firmly, or heated in place, but they vibrate. Okay, the movement of the solid particles, the speed of solid particles start to increase. The speed of particles by gaining heat energy increase, and they go away from each other. Then they change into liquid state. Liquid water, the particles gain more heat energy, the vibration becomes stronger until they break apart and the distances increase between the particles and change into gaseous state. The particles have gained enough heat energy to break free. They are moving very quickly. Okay, so by gaining heat energy for solid state, the movement of particles increase, or the speed of particle increase, so the distances between particles increase, so the matter change from solid state into liquid state. By gaining more heat energy in liquid state, the speed of particles increase more and more, then the distances between particles increase more and more, and the water change from liquid state into gaseous state. When ice is heated, solid state of water, the particle gain energy, so they move around each other in a state of vibration, and the ice become water. When the water heated, the particles of water will move more freely and in all direction instead of moving around each other, and the water becomes water vapor or steam or the gaseous state of water. Water properties. Water properties. First, water colorless, tasteless, and odorless. Colorless, it means doesn't have a color. Water is transparent material. Odorless, doesn't have a smell. Tasteless, it doesn't have a taste. Physical properties. Water at room temperature in the liquid state. Water at room temperature or the normal temperature, water in a liquid state. Yes, water can exist in solid state, but inside the freezer by decreasing temperature or by losing heat energy, and water can found in gaseous state, but by increasing temperature or by gaining heat energy, but at normal temperature or the room temperature, water exists in liquid state. Because it's a liquid state, so water have definite volume. It means the volume of water doesn't change by putting water or by moving water or by transferring water from one container to another container. But its shape, it change. The shape of water will change because it's liquid. In a liquid, its shape change by moving this liquid from one container to another container. It means the water take the shape of the container. Freezing point, boiling and melting, freezing and boiling and melting point. Water boils when its temperature reaches to 100 Celsius degree. Boils, it means the water changes from liquid state into gaseous state. Gas. Water freezes at 0 Celsius degree. Water freezes at 0 Celsius degree, change into solid. Ice, solid state of water, melts at 0 Celsius degree. So the ice, it changes into liquid state or change into water when the temperature reaches to 0 Celsius degree. Below 0 Celsius degree, ice is still solid. At 0 Celsius degree, ice melts to change into water. And the same. By the way, the freezing point of water, 0, and melting point of ice, also 0. Usual, unusual liquid. The water is unusual liquid. Why? Water is considered as a universal solvent. Universal solvent, it means, if you remember this lesson, solvent and solute, most solid materials dissolve in water. Sugar can dissolve in water, salt can dissolve in water, many materials can dissolve in water, but not all materials. Most of material dissolve in water. Water expand when it freezes. Expand when the water freezes, its volume increase. That's why a full-filled bottle may break in the freezer. This point, when water it changes into ice, the volume of water become larger than the same volume of the same amount of water when it was liquid. Ice is lighter than, so ice is lighter than water, or ice floats on water. Ice floats in water. Water can be used to measure the volume of irregular object. Water can be used to measure the volume of irregular object. We are going to explain this part at the end of this unit. Thanks for watching.